Duvet by Boa is in standard tuning, no capo. And for this tutorial, I'm going to be starting with the solo part of the song because personally, I think that's the most fun to play and teach. But then we'll be moving on to the chords after. For most of the song, we'll be using a pick, but for the solo, it's finger picked. But for the first chord, you'll have your ring finger on the 5th fret of the last string from the top. Your pointer finger will go on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string from the bottom, and your middle finger will go on the 4th fret of the 3rd string from the bottom. For the fingers, I like to use my thumb on the 4th string from the top, my pointer on the 5th string from the top, and my middle finger on the last string from the top. And you'll go middle, pointer, thumb. You'll do that 5 times. So far for the first chord, it should sound like this. Practice that plucking pattern a few times because you'll be using it throughout the entirety of the solo. For the next chord, it's actually the exact same thing, so keep the same shape, but slide it so that your ring finger will be on the 10th fret. So now our ring finger is on the 10th fret of the last string from the top, our pointer finger is on the 8th fret of the 2nd to last string from the bottom, and our middle finger is on the 3rd fret of the 3rd to last string from the bottom. We'll go through the plucking pattern once actually for this chord, so just... And then we'll move our ring finger down to the 9th fret, so now it's on the 9th fret of the last string from the top. Play the plucking pattern again. For the next chord, we'll slide this shape so that our ring finger is on the 7th fret, and then we'll slide our pointer finger back 1 extra fret. So now our ring finger is on the 7th fret of the last string from the top, our pointer finger is on the 5th fret of the 2nd to last string from the top, and our middle finger is on the 7th fret of the 3rd to last string from the top. You pluck through that one, and then you slide back to the chord that you were on before. So ring finger on 9, pointer finger on 8, and middle finger on 9. Pluck the pattern. So that was kind of a lot, so let's practice that together. Again, to the first shape, we'll go through the plucking pattern. Slide down. Go back. Okay, let's try to put it together with the first part that we learned. So back to the first chord, we play it 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, slide, slide, down, back. So now, instead of doing the plucking pattern, you'll just use your ring finger and you'll play 9, 10. So you'll use your middle finger with the plucking hand to go 9, 10. And then for the next part, the next couple of chords, we'll slide a similar shape to what we had before, up to the 12th fret. So you'll put your ring finger on the 12th fret of the last string from the top, your pointer finger will go on the 10th fret of the 2nd to last string from the top, and your middle finger will go on the 12th fret of the 3rd to last string from the top. You pluck this one through once, so. And then you'll take this exact same shape and slide it so that your ring finger and your middle finger are on the 14th fret. So now your pointer finger is on the 12th fret. And then you'll slide back to the chord that we were just on and play through the plucking pattern. So if we do that little section again, it'll go. And then after that, we'll slide to one of the chords that we've already learned. Your ring finger on... I'm gonna start like from the top strings because that's so many words. But middle finger on the 9th fret of the 4th string from the top, and then pointer finger on the 8th fret of the next string, and ring finger on the last string of the 10th fret. And then pluck through the plucking pattern once. And then we'll do the thing where we go 9, 10 on one string again. Oh my gosh, I rhymed. Okay, but ring finger will slide down to 9 and then go 9, 10. So if we play that little section together, it'll go like this. 14. Now we can try to put that together with the rest of the sections that we just learned. So for a little reminder, back onto the chord where we had our ring finger on the 5th fret, our pointer finger on the 3rd, and our middle finger on the 4th. We'll pluck through that. Slide. Now for the last little section, you'll have your middle finger on the 9th fret of the 4th string from the top, your pointer finger on the 8th fret of the next string, and your ring finger on the 9th fret of the next string. You'll pluck through the plucking pattern once, and then you'll slide your ring finger to 10 and do the plucking pattern, and then go back to that same chord. And then we'll go to the chord where we have our middle finger on the 7th fret of the 4th string from the top, our pointer finger on the 5th fret of the next string, and our ring finger on the 7th fret of the next string. And we'll pluck through this one twice. So if we put that little section together, it'll sound like this. Now we can combine the 4 sections that we just learned and practice playing that a little faster, because then those 4 sections together repeat another time with a few changes. But yeah, so all together, the solo, the first part of the solo should sound like this. And then you can practice playing that a little bit faster to match the pace of the song. For the second part of the solo, we'll be reusing the first 2 sections of what we just learned. So this part will sound the same. But then for the next 2 sections of this part, it changes a little bit. We'll still start with the same chord that we've been starting on. So I'll have it on screen, but we'll play this one. Slide to 14 like always, slide back to 12, slide to 14 again, then we can slide back to 12, but this time you'll only pluck the bottom string, so then slide to 14, pluck just 1 string again, and then you'll go back to the chord on 12, 14. For the next one, we'll keep the exact same chord shape, but we'll slide it so our ring finger and our middle finger is all the way on 19. So we can look at the dots to help us go all the way up to 19. So as we know, the 2 dots is 12, the next dot from there is 15, the next dot after that, so the second dot here, is 17. So then we just go up, so our pointer finger is on 17, and our middle and ring finger is on 19. That one should sound like this. You play that one 3 times. So that was a lot for those last 2 sections. So let's play it again. I'll play it pretty slowly so that you can try and play along. Okay, that's the end of the little guitar solo, my favorite part of this song. But you can practice playing that a little bit faster to match the pace of the song, and we'll move on to the second solo, which is actually played on piano, but you can also play it on guitar, and it still sounds pretty cool, so yeah. Okay, for the second solo, it's a lot easier to use a pick, because instead of like finger plucking, you only play 1 string at a time while your fingers do all of the action up here. The rest of the song also uses a pick, so I forgot to mention, when you do the solo and you're playing the entire song, what I like to do is, after I strum the last chord, I just put the pick in my mouth and then do the finger picking stuff, and then take it right out and then do the second solo. But yeah, okay, to start the second solo, we'll have our pointer finger on the 11th fret of the 4th string from the top, and we'll be using a lot of hammer-ons for this one. So we'll pluck on 11, hammer on to 12, and then pull off onto 11. So if you don't know what a hammer-on is, all you do is pluck 1 note and then kind of slam your finger down on the next fret, or whatever fret you have to do for the hammer-on. And as long as you're hitting, you'll hear the note ring out. So 11, 12. And then for a pull off, it's the exact opposite of a hammer-on. All you'll do is pull that finger off, but as you pull it, instead of just lifting it up, you kind of like pluck the string as you're removing it. So instead of going straight up, you'll pull it off kind of downwards. So if we try those together, pluck on 11, hammer, pull off. Okay, so for the solo, you'll do that. 11, hammer onto 12, pull off back to 11. Then we'll slide our pointer finger to 12, and we'll do the same hammer on, pull off thing, but this time we'll do it on 14. So 12, 14, pull off. For this next part, I like to do a slide instead of a pull off, just to make it flow easier. But you'll take your ring finger, put it on the 4th fret of the same string, and you'll go 14, slide to 16, and slide back to 14. So it sounds really similar. It'll just go, oh no, it'll just go. And then for the next part, you'll take your pointer finger and go on the 5th string this time, on the 12th fret, hammer on to 14th, and then go back to 12. After you do that, you'll pluck on 15 on the same string. So 12, 14, pull off, 15. And then you'll go down a string again. So now you're on the last string from the top. You'll pluck 12, use any finger to pluck 14. And then while you're on 14, you'll slide to 15 and then go back to 14. So if we do that fast, you'll hear the note ring out better. So 12, 14, 15, 14. So if we try to put that whole part together, I'll say it while we play it, so we'll go super slow for this first part. So on the 4th string from the top, 11th fret, 11, 12, 11. Slide your pointer finger to 12 and do that hammer-on thing to 14. Then put your, oh my gosh, what the flip? And then put your ring finger on the 4th fret, same string, and play 14, slide quickly to 16, and then back to 14. Then go down 1 string, so now we're on the 5th string, on the 12th fret. Do the hammer-on thing with 14. So 12, 14, 12. Pluck 15. Go down a string again. Now we're on the last string from the top and go 12, 14, 15, 14. Oh my gosh, I said that wrong for the last part. Instead of going 14, slide to 15, and slide back to 14, we'll go 14, slide to 15, and pluck 14. 14, slide, pluck. Yes, okay, now for the next section, instead of hammer-ons, we'll do slides for this one, since I find it easier to do slides when we're climbing up strings. But we'll start on the last string from the top, go from 14 to 15 to 14. And this time we don't pluck the last 15, so it's just pluck 14, slide to 15, slide back to 14. You do that with your pointer finger, and then with your middle finger, you can go up to the next string. So now we're on the 4th string from the top, and go 15, 17, 15. And now you can go back to your pointer finger, and we go up a string again. So now we're on the 4th string from the top, and we'll go 14, 16, 14. So if we play those together, starting from the bottom string, and then for the next part, we stay on the same string. So we're still on the 4th string, but we'll go to 11, slide to 12, and then slide back to 11. And then you'll take your middle finger, climb up a string. So now we're on the 3rd string from the top. We'll slide from 12 to 14 to 12 to 14, and we'll pluck 12 again. So that goes kind of fast, but it sounds really cool. It'll sound like this. So if we try to play that next section that we just learned, we'll start at the bottom string on 14, and then we'll climb up. Okay, we've learned 2 sections of the second solo. You can practice combining those together because in the second half of this second solo, it uses the same type of formatting as the first solo. So we'll play the 2 sections that we just learned. And then for the 3rd section, it's a repeat of the first one. For the last part of the second solo, we'll start on the 17th fret of the last string from the top, and we'll slide from 17 to 19 to 17. And then we'll go down to 14. It doesn't really matter if you hammer on or if you slide for this one, since the frets are right next to each other and it'll sound the same. But I will be hammering on. So 14, 15, 14. Then we'll go to the next string, so the 4th string from the top, and we'll go 15, 17, 15. And then we'll climb up a string again, so now we're on the 4th string from the top, and we'll go 14, 16, 14. And then we'll stay on the same string and slide down to 11. We'll hammer on or slide from 11 to 12 to 11 to 12 and back to 11. So it'll sound like this. So that last section will sound like this. That's all for the 2 solos. Now we can learn all of the chords in like the verse and the chorus and all that stuff. So we'll start from the beginning. So throughout all the chords, we'll be using the same strumming pattern. I'll put it on the screen. The lowercase d's mean that you don't strum with full force. You only do a little bit of a... So instead of... it'll be a... for that first part. But yeah, so the strumming pattern will go down, 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 up, down, 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 up. And you'll play through that once for each of the chords. So if we do it again, it'll go down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up. So starting with the verse, the first chord will be a G6. So you'll have your middle finger on the 3rd fret of the 1st string from the top. Your pointer finger will be on the 2nd fret of the 2nd string from the top, and your ring finger will go on the 3rd fret of the 5th string from the top. So it's basically like a normal G, except your ring finger is moved up by 1 string. So it should sound like this. And we'll play through the strumming pattern with this chord once. So down, 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 up, down, 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 up. If we play it together slowly, down, 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 up, down, 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 up. And then we'll switch chords. This one is a B minor 11, I'm pretty sure it's called. You'll have your pointer finger on the 2nd fret of the 2nd string from the top. Your ring finger will go on the 4th fret of the 3rd string from the top. Your pinky finger will go on the 4th fret of the next string, and your middle finger will go on the 3rd fret of, and your middle finger will go on the 3rd fret of the 5th string from the top. That one will sound like this. And make sure that you're not doing a bar chord. I know this chord is really common where you bar the whole thing with your pointer finger, but for this song, you'll only be having your pointer on the 2nd string. So that one will sound like this. And you'll go through the strumming pattern once for that song. So down, 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 up, down, 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 up. And then for the next chord, you'll have your pointer finger on the 2nd fret of the 2nd string from the top, so it stays where it is. Your middle finger will go on the 2nd fret of the next string, so the 3rd string from the top. And your ring finger will go on the 3rd fret of the 5th string from the top. So this one is called an E minor 7, I think, but it'll sound like this. You'll go through the strumming pattern once again. Down, 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 up, down, 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 up. And then for the last chord of this progression, we'll go back to B minor 11. So the chord that we were just on. We'll go through the strumming pattern. Down, 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 up, down, 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 up. I really like the group of chords in this song. I think it sounds so cool and mysterious. But if we play it together, we'll go G6, down, 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 up, down, 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 up. B minor 11, down, 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 up, down, 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 up. E minor 7, down, 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 up, down, 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 up. B minor 11, down, 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 up, down, 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 up. So now without stopping in the middle, let's play through that progression, starting on G6. We're done with the verse and we can move on to the chorus. Okay, for the chords in the chorus, we'll start with our pointer finger on the 7th fret of the 2nd string from the top. Our ring finger will go on the 9th fret of the next string, so the 3rd string from the top, and our pointer finger will be on the 8th fret of the 5th string from the top. That one will sound like this. So cool. Oh my gosh, I love the song. But you'll strum down on that twice, so. And then we'll switch chords. Now we go into a power chord type shape. You'll have your pointer finger on the 7th fret of the top string this time. Your ring finger will go on the 9th fret of the next string, and your pinky will go on the 9th fret of the next string. You'll strum down on that twice too. So if we put that together, go to the first chord. The chorus actually only has 3 chords, so for the last chord, we'll keep that same shape, but we'll slide down so our pointer finger is on the 3rd fret and our ring and pinky finger is on the 5th fret. But this time we'll add our middle finger into the mix and we'll put it on the 4th fret of the next string. So the 4th fret of the 4th string from the top. And the strumming pattern for this one will be a little bit different. This last chord will go down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up. So let's hear it with the chord. Down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up. It's pretty fast, so let's play it slow together. Down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up. So if we put this together with the last 2 chords that we learned, go back down to the first one, and we'll go down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up. A little bit faster. A little bit faster. And then we repeat that a second time, but this time instead of going down, 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 we'll do one strum. So let's hear it. That's literally all there is for the chorus. So if we play everything together, it'll sound like this. Down, 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 down. Pretty cool. And then we move right back into the second verse, which is the exact same as the first verse. And then it moves into another chorus, and then to the 2 solos that we learned in the beginning. And then we go back into the chorus again, and then there's a bridge. So let's take a look into the bridge. So in the bridge, there's 2 guitars playing. I'll teach you one of them. This one is really easy. All you do is have one of the chords that we learned before. You'll have your pointer finger on the 2nd fret of the 2nd string from the top. Your middle finger will go on the 3rd fret of the 3rd string from the top, and your ring finger will go on the 3rd fret of the 5th string from the top. And literally all the bridge is you strum it 4 times. Really spaced out, but it'll go. wait a bit. You can hear where you're supposed to strum based on the vocals, and then strum again, wait a bit. I'm not sure how to explain this without playing the actual song. So yeah, you literally just space out that chord 4 times. You can hear it very clearly in the song while she's going like, whoa, whoa. Yeah, but then you move right back into another chorus, and that's the end of the song. I hope you enjoyed. I haven't done a tutorial in so long because here where I live, it's so gloomy outside. Like, I don't know. But today's the first day in a while that it's been sunny, so I thought that'd be the perfect opportunity to film a video. But also, I share a room with my sister, so I gotta be kind of quiet during the day. But yeah, I hope this tutorial helped. There's a lot more to come now that school is getting a little bit lighter. But yes, bye guys!